Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Awaken the World. We are live right now. It is 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Tonight, vibration. It's all vibration. And it is Thursday, the 7th of January, 2021. So, first off, I know I promised teeth, and I had my appointment yesterday, and the bottom denture is absolutely perfect. So tomorrow I'll probably keep that one in all the time. Uh, the upper denture, however, is off by quite a bit, and right now the S's are difficult for me. But with the dentures in, that S sound becomes the most god awful off tone whistle you can ever imagine. But the denturist did file and do a little bit of work so that I can actually chew a little bit. It was difficult this evening at supper. I tried it with the teeth, and Kelly did baked nachos, which probably wasn't the best thing to start with. But I did get by it. Obviously, there is still some tenderness there. So yeah, it's a work in progress. It'll actually be February 3rd because what they're gonna do is they're gonna do a wax impression now and then position it in my mouth and get it kind of right first before they print a third set of teeth for me. So hopefully third time's the charm. And and speaking about vibration, before we get on the subject, when he was in there with the little drill, of course you can't. There's no sensation translated through the acrylic tooth to the jawbone, and it was a weird sensation to hear that good old dentist drill sound and not feel anything attached to it. So before we get deep into this, as always, let me say how much that I love each and every one of you. There is nothing wrong with any of you. You're exactly who you need to be right now in order to evolve and gain further levels of consciousness. This is part of your journey. And when you accept where you are right now, where you come to peace with where you are right now, you cease to fight yourself. And interestingly enough, that soul also can help. And I really don't like to say raise your vibrational state, okay? So I'm going to say restore your vibration. So let's talk about vibration, and forgive me if I every once in a while need a sip of my tea. And this is, a point of view, a way of looking at creation. So if we consider the creative essence of everything, that creative consciousness, that sea of consciousness in which all things are made of, as the waves within that sea or ocean of consciousness, and all things arise from and are part of and made of that consciousness, we would consider that the highest, finest vibrational state. Now, that's just a way and a way of speaking that we try to delineate it's the most rarefied form of the ground state. It may indeed, and a matter of fact, to my awareness, it is actually totally the other direction. It's actually the lowest. um, the vibration itself is high, but the frequency is ultra low. Deep, 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 deep. But that really doesn't matter. We're just talking about gradations. But if we consider that sea of consciousness as being the ground state, then all the things that arise out of that consciousness as manifestations into the physical realm, by their very nature, are lowered into they're manifested as a lower vibrational state. And we would call that vibrational state matter. Now, in between, there are other levels of vibration, of course, and we could consider one the vibration of thought. Thought is a more rarefied form of vibration, and therefore travels more freely and further and faster. Matter as a vibrational frequency, if you will, is limited to the speed of light, just before the speed of light, as far as we can tell right now. So what does this mean in terms of ourselves? Well, as I said in the little text piece that I added after the announcement for the video, the only real way to deal with your vibration is to pay very close attention to your thoughts. And we're going to get a little more deeply into that, but first we're going to talk about the body's inherent intelligence and its vibration versus your concept of what your body's vibration may be. Okay, and this is important. And the reason I do this is to dispel the idea that your vibration can be adversely affected by anyone or anything for any length of time. It can be adversely affected for short periods of time, but it is a natural spring back response. And it's an important one that we get a clear picture of. So if you've ever had an opportunity to go to any of the gas chambers in Europe that the Nazis were using to do their experiments on and to kill Jews and countless other people, I did, and when I was there, there was he was literally like. I mean, he could have been the incarnation of Colonel Sanders. I mean, really. He looked like Colonel Sanders. He was dressed like Colonel Sanders, except his face was a lot rounder and a lot redder, and he was loud and obnoxious until we stepped into one of those gas chambers. And at that point, even him and his down Texas accent shut up, got really quiet. We could all feel the vibrational state still eminent within the walls, still present. Concrete, which is mostly made out of limestone, and a lot of calcium carbonate as well, another component of limestone, that holds the vibrational state. And it can hold that vibrational state for a very long time. And it also radiates it back out. And it continues to radiate out the vibrational state that it's been imbued with until its vibrational state is shifted. It's no different than the human body in that regard. So when we walked back out of that gas chamber, within a minute or two, our good old American Colonel Sanders look-alike was right back to his boisterous, obnoxious, loud self. This is what I mean by you can be adversely affected, and it's not necessarily adversely, it depends how you choose to look at it, but you can be affected for short periods of time by the environment in which you place the vibrational being that you are in. So if you continually go to funeral homes for entertainment, there's an opportunity there that you're probably going to be a little depressed and find yourself in a fairly depressed vibrational state. This is why it's important to examine the environment we're in and that we are in, and be honest with ourselves about our ability to resist the vibrational state of the environment. I don't go to funerals. And the reason I don't go to funerals has nothing to do with me not being able to resist the vibrational state, because for me, I'm so far gone. My problem is when I go to a funeral, someone looks at me crying and says, I'm going to miss so and so, and I say, you don't have to miss them; they're still here. This is actually a really wonderful thing that's happened to them. They've graduated. They've finished what they came here to do, and the, but they're still present. You can still reach out to them. You can still touch them. You can still have meaning with them. If you open yourself to it, you will find that heaven isn't somewhere. It's here, right here. They are here too. It's all here, operating in a different vibrational level. So your body's intelligence has its own vibrational state. And believe it or not, that vibrational state is very high. It has to be. If you tried to quantitate to grasp in your own conscious mind the myriad number of tasks that your body's consciousness is going about right now in this minute, you would simply overload yourself and you would drop dead if you tried to control any of that yourself. Your heartbeat is a minor example out of the tens of thousands of things that your body's consciousness is monitoring, including the vibrational state being radiated from the egoic sense of self. This is our greatest weapon and our greatest, what's the word I'm looking for? Achilles heel. Is that our egoic sense of self, our mind, that voice in your head, is the one that is most responsible for your vibrational state. As I said, environmentally, you can walk into an environment that's difficult for you and your body will react to it, but your body will restore itself quite quickly. But if the mind keeps harping on that dead person, for example, you're going to notice feelings that you will describe or interpret with yourself as negative. The reason you're having that negative dissonant vibration returned is because your body is rejecting, your body's intelligence is rejecting the vibrational state of your thoughts. And it does so, if you had read that little piece that I wrote after the definition of dissonance, because the environment that the state of vibration that your body is in, there is no place for that negativity, that wrong thinking, that dissonant vibration that you've created in your head. Your body alerts you by that dissonance that is created by the intersection of your thought with your body's intelligent field. Its own vibrational field intersects with the vibrational field of the thought, and dissonance is created, and that dissonance will be created just as we are like a thermometer of life, okay, if you will, or the chakras. That dissonance will manifest in various parts of the body. And that gives you clues, if you can't see the thoughts right away, as to what you may have been thinking, what was on your mind that was out of whack with reality. because that's what your body's intelligence is trying to do. It's returning this dissonant vibration to you and making you aware of it in the form of what you interpret as a feeling in order for you to get it through your head that you're lying to yourself, that your thoughts are not in alignment with truth. So, for example, if I sit here and say, poor Garhen, I look 10 years older, I don't have teeth in my mouth right now, I can't chew my favorite candy, whine, 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 cry, 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 boo hoo 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 hoo, my body's going to react to that. And if I don't pay attention to that reaction and I keep doing it over and over and over again, we create these vibrational wells. They virtually, it's like in a miniature dark energy sun. It's not bad. It's still you. It's still your energy. But it becomes this vortex of dissonance. And it is supported by and energized by your conscious thinking about those incorrect viewpoints over and over and over again. So in other words, there are some people I know who are really struggling with the whole idea of masks. And some of these people are struggling to the point that they literally cause themselves breathing issues at the concept of putting a mask on. It's been entirely psychosomatically driven. And it's been so entrained within the body, and the body has been trying to get through to the egoic being to shift the perception. So why are we talking about this when we're talking about vibration? Because the only tried and true way to change your vibrational state is through dealing with the mind. Looking at those thoughts, realizing the thoughts that you've been programmed with, the ones that are unconsciously driven, the ones that are deep in your subconsciousness. It takes great awareness and great focus at first on a moment-to-moment basis to look at your thoughts in silence, to take time to learn to silence your being, to become still and open yourself to the present moment. Over time, as you guide your thoughts to higher and higher levels of truth, and your body responds in kind by feeling light and joyful and having a nonstop sense of humor and engaging in laughter, all of this raises that vibrational state to the highest levels that you can experience while still remaining physical. Now, this also has a natural healing effect on the body. As an energy field, the higher the vibrational state, the easier it is for those things that need to be repaired to be repaired. And it all comes down to the power of your own mind and how you choose to learn to exercise that power. If your thoughts are generating feelings that you don't agree with, you don't like, feelings of sadness, depression, despair, loss, you need look no further than your thoughts. The issue does not lie outside of you, it lies within you in your perception. And I know it's not always easy to go from I lost my life partner to my life partner has graduated, and that's amazing for them. I still miss them. But you can do that. You can begin to move yourself, to begin to switch your compass towards thoughts that are in alignment with the truth of who you are and the truth of our existence here. And it takes practice. And the one thing you must never ever do if you want to keep your vibration up as high as possible is beat yourself up. This is a journey you're on. The act of coming here and becoming what we would call human for what we would term a lifetime is an experience. You're not meant to get it all at once. That would just simply take all the fun out of it. As far as those things physically that you can do to help raise your vibrational state, there is one tried and true technique which I talked about years ago and actually used to teach, and that is laughter. What's known as laughter yoga. But as I said to Kelly the other day, when you're laughing, you can't possibly think. Laughter is the ultimate circuit breaker to cut the egoic mind off no matter what's going on and to rebalance the energy levels and the vibrational state of the body as quickly as possible within that moment. So use laughter whenever necessary to help cut that negative vibration and raise your own vibration again. But understand that the only tried and true way is to move more and more towards guiding your thoughts towards the truth of who you are and what you are and why you're here and what we all are together. And that is one magnificent divine consciousness experiencing itself in mirrored form. There is nothing ever to fear. There is nothing ever to worry about. You are loved and held in the arms of the divine. This is the truth of your existence, and this is the vibration of that truth. And trust me, it's a wonderful place to live. Now, there are indeed vibrational states beyond the physical form that you can reach, but in doing so, you tend to disappear in a way, let's say. Those are achieved through deep states of meditation, moments of samsara, but they are not a goal to reach for. And the reason being is you're not here to exist in that vibrational state. You're here to exist in this one as a physical being. Achieve the highest vibrational state you can on a daily basis, not with effort, not with work, but with ease, with a natural desire to watch and see what's going on within you and to guide yourself towards those thoughts that portray the truth of your existence. Much love. Give me a day or two to get used to the new teeth and do something to reduce the whistle, and we'll be back together again very soon. Namaste. Have a beautiful Thursday night.